Hello everybody, Wyduck here. I've got a replay on Star Station, this time between two very good North American players. In the bottom right, spawning as the red Zerg, you've got Roots Kane. And his opponent, spawning in the top left as the blue Terran, we've got Evil Genius's Demuslim. Demuslim's going to be sending his first SCV over to build a supply depot at the ramp. Kane's just going to be droning up. He's not going to be going for a crazy 6-pool or anything like that. And I haven't seen a 6-pool in a while. Would be nice to see something different. Really like this impromptu, yo, good luck, have fun. Yo. Doesn't it just sound so much cooler than hi? Now, if you don't know who Demuslim is constantly, basically in the top 5 for the Battle.net standings in North America on the ladder. He has a stream that usually goes on every weekday. So people call him basically a ladder warrior. He does really well online, but when he gets to offline tournaments, he doesn't seem to perform as well. He's going to be putting a CC on the high ground here. And that's very unfortunate for him. Kane's going to be putting down his hatchery at his natural. And Demuslim is going to finish the wall off with a barracks. And just recently, Demuslim was in the round of 16 of the Premier League in North America, and he was knocked out 0-2, so he's going to fall down to the Challenger League for the next season. Players who get to the round of 8 immediately are injected into the next season of Premier League without having to go to Challenger League. So if Demuslim wants to participate in the next Premier League, he'll have to go through Challenger League. So that's very unfortunate for Demuslim. Big fan of his. You should check out his stream. Talks a lot about his strategies, what he's doing. He commentates while he's talking, and he's just an overall pretty nice guy. Demuslim does have his refinery up with 3 SCVs. Kane, on the other hand, does not have any extractors, so he's not going for map control through Zergling speed. The second orbital can is upgrading for Demuslim, and he'll be sending out his first Marine to the bunker that's almost finished. Neither player has really scouted each other. While this Overlord from Kane is able to spot the bunker, the Marine is going to waltz over there and try and do some damage to it, but the Overlord is into empty space here. There's no way the Marine can get to it. Demuslim is putting down a factory while his barracks is getting a reactor, and he's going to be walling off his bunker and his natural from incoming attacks, and that's really smart. Players usually opt to do that, sometimes in different fashions. And Kane is going to be getting 2 extractors up. He's really gas deprived, as with no gas, you're not able to do much except build queens and zerglings. And he's going to get the creep spread. And I like what he's doing here. He put a creep tumor in his main, so he's going to expand the creep over to his natural. And in lots of games, even from pro gamers, some players elect not to put down a creep tumor in the main. And so there is no connection between the main and the natural, and that can be dangerous for queens if they have to transfer between 2 bases. As if there's incoming Banshee attack or Hellions, and there's no creep tumor here, then it takes a much longer time for the queens to get back into the main or to the expansion. And sometimes the queens will get cut off and they will die. So I like that choice by Kane. Demuslim is getting his 3rd command center up and has a tech lab finished on the barracks. Zergling speed is coming into play very soon. Kane is getting the upgrade now. And at the same time, Demuslim is sending 2 Hellions across the map, going to scout out his opponent, see what's going on. This Zergling that's on the Naga Tower is able to see them. But with 2 Queens here, the Hellions are not going to be able to do much harass. At least Demuslim's able to immediately spot the 3rd before it is finished building. And now with 4 Hellions, Demuslim might be able to do some creep tumor damage. Gonna take out this Zergling here at the Naga Tower. This Zergling is gonna try to run away, but those Hellions are looking for some Zergling barbecue steak, and they're gonna get a fresh order of that. Demuslim has to be careful here. This is not a great engagement for Demuslim. Now the Queens are off creep, so this might be a great engagement. 6 Hellions on 2 Queens is not a bad trade, but there's a whole bunch of Zerglings coming out in the back. I have to be careful here. I don't want to get this around. A whole bunch of Zerglings are burnt into fiery, burnt toast, and 1 Queen goes down as well, so that's a great trade for Demuslim. He's able to take down about 3 or 4 Zerglings and a Queen for 1 low price of a Hellion. That's going to significantly impact the creep tumor play. And now Kane's going to have to regroup himself. The Hellions are still waiting outside the creep at the Xel'Naga Tower. One of them is heavily damaged. The Queen's going to come back in here to dump off some more creep tumors. Zerglings are going to regenerate some life. Meanwhile, Demuslim's able to land his 3rd orbital command. And Demuslim is known as a more greedy Terran. He likes to be greedy. He has a 15 supply disadvantage. He's getting a starport up. He's dropping a whole bunch of mules at his 3rd. But Kane does have his 3rd up and running for quite a while now. Not a lot of harass. No drones have been lost. Or SCVs. So no harvesters have been lost from either player. And Kane's 1-1 is almost finished. So he'll have a small window here where his upgrades are better than Demuslim. Demuslim's not that far behind. You're going to pick off this creep tumor here. And the second one, and that's not a great trade, as Demuslim's going to lose 2 Hellions just to pick off 2 creep tumors, and creep tumors don't cost anything except energy. And now, here comes the Zergling squad. One Zergling's going to go to the tower and is immediately destroyed. The second one's also going to be melted into ashes. And the Queens have to be careful here. Remember last time when they were off creep, one of them was picked off. And the creep spread by route by Kane has been very significant. He's getting his 4th up here, and now the Zerglings are going in for this round on these 3 Hellions. It's going to be very difficult for these Hellions to escape, as the Zerglings are faster. That's a large line of burnt corpses. Good job by Demuslim to get those Zergling kills. 2 of the Hellions are in red. And look at this creep spread. The creep spread has covered a quarter of the map. We're at about the 11-minute mark. Kane is not letting up on the creep spread. Demuslim, on the other hand, is getting his 4th command center up. And he has a small pack of Marines and 2 medevacs moving to the right side of the map, and a large stream of Marines behind that. So Demuslim's tired of waiting. The supplies are pretty even. The Zerglings are going to come in here, finish off these Hellions. Get the full surround. All the Hellions are destroyed. But at the 4th, Kane has to be careful here. He has no units except drones. The Marines are stimming in. The Zerglings are coming in, trying to do everything they can with Mutalisks behind them and a few Banelings. Marines are going to stack behind the minerals for a defensive line. He's going to be able to pick off a whole bunch of drones. And now, 1 healthy or very unhealthy Baneling connection. All the Marines go down in an acidy gooze. Resources lost is very even. So that sneak attack by Demuslim was not able to do the damage that he needed to do. He was able to pick off a few drones. Has 10 drones lost in total so far. But with Mutalisks, this creep spread, and the very fast Zerglings, and very fast Banelings, with the centrifugal hooks, it'll be very difficult for Demuslim to engage on creep. So he wants to try to engage off of creep. 2-2 is almost finished for the Zerg as well. And once again, Demuslim is behind in upgrades. So if he's going to engage the next 20 seconds or so, this window is not going to be good for him. This little Marine is getting destroyed by two Zerglings. Was almost able to microwave, but there we go. Able to get revenge for his fallen comrade. This medevac is going to be darting across the map, is able to dump one Marine off. And they're going to try and claim the upper ground by the 4th. And this position is very annoying, because if the Muslim puts the Marines over on the left side here, he'll be able to take pot shots at the drones, and there will be no retaliation. The Muslim's not paying attention, though, unfortunately. He's able to pick up the full squad of Marines and is now dumping off into the main of the 4th. But there's so many Zerglings and a few Mutalisks there that this group is eventually going to take it down. At the same time, the Muslim is advancing, trying to pick off some creep tumors with a few Widow Mines, and some of the creep tumors are picked off immediately. And this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting. If you take a look at the supplies, it's very even. And the Muslim actually has secured his 4th, which is a little bit strange. Terrans usually don't have that much of an easy time. But watch out for that huge mine connection. Able to take out about 10 Zerglings. But with so many Zerglings, the Muslim's going to have to run away here. He's on the high ground. The Overseer is able to detect this. The Banelings are all getting picked off. Great micro by the Muslim. But the Muslim is going to be retreating now, as Kane has a huge group of Banelings. And without any Marauders to absorb the hits, these Marines are very, very easy targets. And what he doesn't know also is that there's a huge pack of Mutalisks to the left of his base that's going to come in here. And there's not that many turrets. In fact, there are no turrets. There's a bunker here with 3 Marines. But there are no turrets. There's one in the main. This bunker is going to be destroyed immediately. The Mutalisks are picking off stray SCVs, damaging the barracks as well. Here come the Stim Marines, able to pick off one Mutalisk. And some of the Mutalisks are in yellow, but with the new patch, Mutalisks do... with Heart of the Swarm, Mutalisks do regenerate very quickly. So if you do not destroy them, if you put them all in the red, it doesn't matter, because in a minute or so, they're able to regenerate full life. This mine is going to get one awesome hit. Overseer sees the Widow Mine. Is Kane going to go back and pick it off? No. So that mine has paid for itself already, and will be able to get another kill probably in the future. And the Muslim is putting down many missile turrets at his 4th. He's got 2 at his planetary fortress and a whole bunch of mines. So if there is an attack by Mutalisks or Zerglings, it's going to be thwarted easily. The Muslim is in the middle of the map with a small pack of Marines cleaning up creep tumors. And also near the right of Kane's 4th base. So he's got 2 attack squads going through here. Unfortunately, this small attack group is going to be easily handled with. And watch out for the Baneling connections. 5 Marines are melted immediately. But this is about 50 Marines. They're going to be going to the 4th base. They're taking no prisoners. They're going to be sniping down all the Banelings and Zerglings as many as they can. At the same time, Kane is going to go for a counterattack with his Mutalisk force into the 3rd of the Muslim. The Muslim's bunker is empty, but there are 3 Widow Mines there. Huge connections, able to destroy a lot of Mutalisks. But unfortunately, not going to be able to destroy much more after that. The Mutalisks are now totally have no contention. The Marines are still waiting outside of the 4th of Kane's, while the Muslim's 3rd is burning down. His orbital is going to be destroyed. The Muslim is still waiting outside the 4th of Kane, so this has been a very good trade for Kane, able to get 1 base for nothing. And now, all the Mutalisks are in the main of the Muslim. At the same time, the Muslim is dropping in the main of Kane's and still has an attack going on at the 4th, so there's 3 attacks going on right now. This might be a base trade. Unfortunately, the attack by the Muslim into the main is now being cleaned up. And at the 4th, it has been very successful. Able to clean up a lot of drones. The 4th is still around. The main is still around for Kane. Finally, the Muslim's able to clear out those Mutalisks. This 4th is finally going to go down. The Muslim's been able to snipe off the 4th hatchery of Kane. So that is very good, because he needed to even out the base count. But the Mutalisks are coming in for another flyby attack. 1 Mutalisk is picked off. His Overseer is going to go bye-bye as well. Oh, maybe not. He's got 10 life left. Resources lost are slightly in favor of the Muslim. And if you take a look at the supply, they're both maxed out with lots of resources. And at this point in time, we have 4 bases to 4. And as a Zerg player, when you're playing a non-Zerg player, you always want to be 1 base up. So Kane is behind at this point in time because he needs to have 5 bases. He's going to get his 5th up now. These 3 Widow Mines are going to get picked off for nothing. So great engagement by Kane. And instead of attacking the right, Demuslim's going to go for the left. All the Marines and Marauders, they're all over here. Clean up some creep tumors. Another scan goes down. At the same time here, Kane needs to be careful. There are so many Widow Mines. And 2 Mulists go down as well as the Overseer. Now they're not able to detect future Widow Mines. And we've got 2 turrets here firing on weakened Mutalists. So Kane's going to have to run out of there. At the same time, there's so many Ultralists and Banelings. My computer is having problems dealing with all this graphical interference. The Marines are getting just eaten away by those Kaiser Blades and the Baneling connections. Demuslim has now a 50 supply disadvantage. Kane's huge engagement basically has crippled Demuslim. If Kane goes in for the kill now, I'm not sure if Demuslim can do anything. Demuslim does have over 3,000 minerals, so he can rebuild his force very quickly and efficiently. But is Kane going to give him the time? Now, obviously, Kane has no idea how much of an advantage he's built. He just melted Demuslim's entire force, and he's not attacking. And this is where sometimes you see in live games where commentators say, oh, well, this player should do this because the other guy is in this position. But Kane really can't see Demuslim's supplies. He knows he won that engagement handedly so. But he really doesn't know exactly what the supplies are right now for Demuslim. So he's just playing it safe. He's got infestors. He had a healthy engagement. He's not going to have to press right now. One infestor gets picked off. Great microing by Demuslim. But he's still got a whole bunch of infestors to deal with here. It's not just one. And at the same time, like I said, there's 5 bases to 5. So the economic advantage is in favor of the Terran. And if you look at these Widow Mines, they're in perfect position. The Mulists don't want to engage. The Mulists are trying to go in one side. This Widow Mine just got 21 kills on Zerglings. So that Widow Mine has totally paid for itself like 5 times over. And those are the kinds of Widow Mine connections Zerglings and Zerg players really despise. And here's the engagement. The Marines and Marauders are stimming. They're going to cut away as much as they can. A fungal goes down. A very good fungal, able to catch 10, 20 of the units of Demuslim. Demuslim's not going to be able to micro away, but a huge patch of reinforcements behind are going to march in here. Another great fungal. The Ultralists are going to come in here, chop away at the Bio Force. The Banelings are also getting great connections. Demuslim is behind in supply again. Kane wins another engagement easily, but he's not moving forward. He has no Ultralists in this group now. He only has Queens and Infestors, so I can understand why he might want to hold back. At the same time, Kane was able to destroy these 5 Widow Mines in the center of the map that was persistently annoying his Mutalist force. And he's putting down a lot of static defense at his 5th. Gonna stop any drops that might try to come in here, and more Widow Mines in the middle of the map. The Muslim's gonna stim in here. Gonna do some janitorial work. Gonna have to put down some more scans. Takes down 5 tumors for 1 low cost of a scan, and the Widow Mines are doing damage again, able to pick off another Mutalist. The Mutalists do have 2 attacks, so Kane has been upgrading his Mutalist. Another Mutalist goes down. You do not want to trade Mutalist for mines. You want to try and go in there and try to snipe. The Muslims are going to try and land his 6th command center, but the Mutalists are right there already. So this is not going to be effective. Command center lands anyways. And now here come the huge horde of Zerglings. Now they got to watch out. There's 5 Widow Mines burrowed. The burrowing mines are not able. They are able to take out all the Zerglings, but there wasn't that many, so those were wasted shots. Here come the Ultralists. The Banelings get huge connections. The Fungal Growths go down. The Marines and Marauders are dealing a lot of damage to the Ultralists, and the Transfuse is going down on the last Ultralist before that one's picked off. The second one's picked off. Huge Fungals from Kane is able to do a lot of damage, but you need Ultralists in the front. There's only 1 left. And now there's no more Ultralists. And now all these Queens and Infestors are heavily going to be attacked upon. And they're going to finally run away here. The 6th base of Demuslim was picked off in this entire confrontation. So that was a good deal for Kane in that regard. The supplies are very even. And now, if you take a look at resources, Resources are very similar and very low for both players. A few minutes ago, they were both at about 3,000 minerals, and now they're both about at 500. So even though they were able to get good trades, they're both still at about even. And now some more janitorial cleanup for the Marines. And unfortunately, the creep spread has been recessed back quite a bit for Kane. Kane's creep spread was quite significant before. He was able to see about 50 to 60% of the map, and now he's not able to see nearly as much as he was able to see at the 15-minute mark. And the Marines are coming in again. Going to see all these spine crawlers, so that's going to scare them away. Both players are maxed again, and they both have even upgrades. They're both maxed out at 3-3. And Demuslim's going to be doing the mine push, planting down the mines before his Marine Marauder Force go in. One spine crawler is going to get picked off. And all the banelings are destroyed by the mines, so those are very good connections for Demuslim. Doesn't have to worry about the banelings nearly as much. Fungal goes down, able to catch a couple medevacs, but unfortunately there's no anti-air in this composition. I don't see any Mutalisks. Marines and Marauders are stimming to run away. And this 6th orbital is just floating, hanging out on top of these infestors. Hey dudes, how's it going? And this Overlord who's pooping on the ground is finally going to be destroyed. The 6th will be able to land. This mine was able to get a very healthy connection, able to do a lot of splash damage. And all these new creep tumors are all going to be destroyed by Demuslim immediately. They're not able to put down another tumor. And resources loss is now heavily favoring Demuslim. And with these spine crawlers going down, there's very little static defense at the 4th of Kane's. Kane does have his 6 up and running now, and this huge engagement is going on. All the Ultralisks are charging in there with Zerglings, and the Fungals are really good. They're trapping a lot of the Medevacs and the Marines, and now Kane has built a significant supply advantage. If he's able to turn this into a momentum shift, he's got to push forward. He can't sit back. But Kane is going to be opting for a more safe play again. This is probably the 3rd time where he's had a really good engagement and he has a significant supply advantage. But he wants to just sit back. Unfortunately, now he has no choice. He needs to engage as his 6 is under attack. At the same time, his Zerglings are picking off all the SCVs that are trying to mine from the 6 for Demuslim. And look at all these spine crawlers picking off all these Marines and Marauders, not able to do that much. So both players are on 5 bases. They're not able to expand past the 5th base easily. And Demuslim's going to go back to the right base, the base at the 3 o'clock position. Going to pick off a whole bunch of drones on the high ground, and Kane doesn't have high ground vision, so that's very unfortunate for Kane. The spine crawler goes down for nothing, and the drones are still being focus fired on. Marauders have a little bit more range than Marines, and finally you're going to get high ground vision, and the Ultralisks and Zerglings are going to clean up this pack of annoying Bioforce. Demuslim is still fighting with everything that he can, even though he is behind in supply. He's got a whole bunch of Marines and Marauders here. Close the top right position. He's going to flee back to his 4th. Meanwhile, he's able to actually finally get his 6th base running. He's put down a few mules. And this Widowmine is going to get a lot of kills. No, only able to get 1. The SCVs and mules are going to have to retreat again as the Zerglings are there. And this is a position where players have to decide what they want to do. As the 6, is Demuslim going to lift? It's in the red. It's going to be destroyed. He doesn't lift. Oh, big mistake by Demuslim. The Zerglings are able to pick off that orbital command. And this medevac from Demuslim near the 2 o'clock position is going to be able to see that hatchery. Kane is going to reinforce. The medevac is going around the right side of the map. Going to see what he can do. And actually, Kane has 3 burrowed infestors. But there are 2 turrets there. Whole bunch of infested Terrans are landing. The Widow Mines are going to destroy half of the force, but there's still a whole bunch of infested Terrans. Demuslim's not paying attention to that. He's going to focus down the 4th of Kane's, able to pick that off. He's also ravaging the 2nd. The infested Terrans are going to be able to destroy the 2 missile turrets and scare away all the SCVs. Lots of action going on. There's action all around. There's 3 attacks going on. Not able to focus. The 4th of Kane's was taken out. And this attack at the 2 o'clock, or at the 3 o'clock position by Demuslim is still going on. The infested Terrans and Zerglings are going to be able to clean this up, though. And unfortunately for Kane, that was a very bad trade, as he was not able to destroy any bases, but he lost his 3 o'clock base. And now his morphing in hatchery at the 2 o'clock position is being attacked. Then Demuslim's not going to lose any units. He's going to just pick them up and ladder up to the high ground. And now Kane's, all of his units are near his 2 o'clock expansion. And this is a very bad confrontation. He doesn't know the mines are there. If he goes in that way, the Ultralists are going to get chewed up. The Muslim puts down a scan, and he's building up resources again. He's lacking gas. The Infested Terrans is a very good play, as he's trying to soak up mine hits. Not able to soak up that many. That fungal was a money fungal. Was able to destroy so many Marines and Marauders. And a whole bunch of mines are destroyed. The Ultralists are marching in here now. The Muslim has a 40 supply disadvantage. Kane is going to march in here, destroy this planetary fortress easily. There's so many of these big elephants mowing down on these units. And the Muslim is really behind. Kane has built a significant advantage, and now he can press forward. Even though he lost his base, it looked like the Muslim did build an advantage, economic-wise at least. It looks like the Muslim cannot come back from this game. The Muslim's gonna GG. And there was a few points in this game that initially I thought Kane had the game in his hand. That there's a few engagements near the bottom left part of the map where Kane had a huge supply advantage, and of course he didn't know exactly how much of a supply advantage he had, but he had a huge supply advantage, and he could have probably won there, but he waited around, recollected himself, and finally went in for the killing blow. So good work by Kane. He was able to identify when he should attack. Maybe not at the earliest point, but he was able to get victory. So good job by Kane, and see you guys next time.